Welcome, everybody. Everyone's having a wonderful day today. It's still morning or after for you. Everyone's having a great day. I know here it's a little bit gloomy, raining all morning. Probably outside, but doesn't mean we have to be crummy in here. So I want to continue back where we were going yesterday. We were looking at what we want to do with the rebuild of the Coppola's website. I'm going to continue down that path. For those who were watching yesterday, especially watching the end, I said I was going to do some things late in the evening. That didn't happen. I actually decided to watch last episode of Clone Wars, and once that was done, I just didn't really feel like doing much. Although I ended up doing a bunch of exclusive business. So for Star Wars fans, I mean, I tell you what, that was a great way to end Clone Wars. Perfect ending for it. I think really kind of settled, really added to everything. Talking to one of my coworkers yesterday, and he was saying how he felt the prequel seemed to be so much better now with the Clone Wars. I kind of have to agree. All right, so I do want to switch over. Let's go ahead and move over to what we were working on yesterday. So let's switch to the browser. Again, we were talking about updating this website, getting away from a VB.net built application to Sharp, and adding some new features in here. So what I really need to work on is we need to get some user stories put up. So let's actually, I can get in here. Let's go to dev.azure.com. Do this tailline code. We'll go this. Went through this today. This is not the first time. Devops. Tailline code. There we go. I don't know if Azure DevOps is just having some kind of funky thing. But all right. So go to our code project. And I'm going to start creating some user stories. Sure enough, when we go back to what we were working on yesterday. So here's the list we made. And so I'm just going to make some user stories for this. Again, I'm the only one working on this project, but it's still good to have these user stories to, if anything else, is a checklist, right, to work off again. I highly recommend doing something like this. I mean, again, it doesn't have to be as formal as a user story. Maybe a Trello board that just tracks your things, or for heaven's sakes, just a notepad. Although I open up so many notepads throughout the day that how well I can keep track of all of it. But with that being said, let's go ahead. I'm going to put this here. Just a little bit. That. There we go. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to, for those who are not very aware of Azure DevOps, so in here, I mean, one of the things you could do is you could have your boards. And again, like I was talking about yesterday, it's just I'm using the Agile processes, so it has the idea of user story. So you can see I can go to my boards, and this is sites things, but let's just go in here. And you see very simple to do, doing, and done. And really, for my purposes, that's all I need. Maybe for other projects, you need some more columns, but really, this is all I need. I need to know what I'm doing, what I need to do, and So I'm just going to start creating some items in here. Oh, I'm going to actually go to the back. I don't like it doing. Just makes it a little bit simpler. And admittedly, I'm not going to worry too much about print planning, so I'm just going to close that page. Go ahead and create a new. Is that issue? Right. Okay. I select the wrong template when I here. Well, let's take a look here. What I created this. Go on to project set. Ba, 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 ba. Oh, because the default's basic. I didn't change. Sure enough, yesterday when we did this, I didn't. I left the default. All right, let's do this because I really do want something a little bit more than that. Hello. Well, hold on a second. I go to a new project. Sure enough, it creates something basic. Basic. Okay, so sure enough, as I was talking about, there are different profiles. So basic includes epic issue and yeah. See, I don't because it's not. I'm not creating issue. I like this one agile because I'm creating. I have epics. I can have my features. I don't really use the two different ones, but then I have my user stories. Yeah. So let's just do this. Here's the nice part. It's a brand new project. It'll just go back to projects. Select this one. Delete it. Delete. I love this. To delete the Coppola project, I have to type in Taylor and code. That's interesting. I would have thought, usually it wants me to type in the name of, what I'm deleting. But hey, I can go with that. All right, so we're going to recreate the Coppola project. Coppola web. I'm going to make this public. And then I'm going to change this to Agile. Like I should have done yesterday. Now I can go in this project. Again, I'm not going to worry about iterations. Just let everything will get fine. Iteration 1. Actually, it won't do that automatically. Now I see my story. Actually, I do want to. I'm not going to use features. I don't think. Now, I'm not going to use features. I'm just going to stick with. Well, oh, okay. Yeah, I use features and stories. I won't use epics, at least at this point. Maybe I will. Actually, I will use epics because I'll have. sure enough, there is the Coppola site, the front end piece, the piece that attendees and people who are looking for information see. But one of the things we need to create, excuse me, one of the things we need to create is also like a sponsor portal. It's something we've never had. But we end up tracing after the sponsors for information, and I really do think if we had a portal that we could kind of put them into a checklist, I think that would really make a difference. So, long story short, I'm going to use that. So I'm going to go ahead and create my epics first. So, and you notice I'm actually switching. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to create an epic called Coppola, or let's call it front door site. That'll be our primary site. That'll be, you go to Coppola.com, front door. We're going to add that. And really, I don't, for really doing this for work where it's going to be team, really should be adding some stuff in here. We'll just add in here. This is the site. People going to www. Right. Really don't need much more than that. Sure enough, if you're doing this for work project, you really should have more description, at the very least, a summary of what that epic's going to be doing. You're going to have a whole lot of people looking at this. But for this, we're going to be good. I'm going to go ahead and create a couple more. So let's create and we'll have a sponsor portal. I'm not going to add any more. All that works. But then, so I'm going to have a sponsor portal. I'm going to have a speaker portal. And I was thinking about this a little bit this morning about the speaker portal. So we did have a speaker portal way back when, and we ran a speaker portal for several years because we built our own call for speakers, and then people can manage their sessions through there. So if they need to make a tweak to their description and so forth. So for the last 2 years, for last year and for this year, we're using Sessionize, and I love Sessionize. Sessionize is definitely the way to go. But one of the things about Sessionize is it's locked down and for a good thing, but it also makes them harder. For example, if a speaker submits a session, and you got to remember, speakers submitting sessions in March for an event and all, things change. So I might submit a session about, let's just say I'm submitting a session for Azure Functions on version 3. Right? Well, between now and August, there's going to be changes to maybe some of the things I'm going to be talking about change. So sure enough, Sessionize allows you to change things, but there's kind of a convoluted process. And I would like something easier. But maybe doing something or changing pictures a little bit of a hassle. You could, again, it's not a dig on Sessionize. It's actually a good thing. They're making sure that you as a event know what's changing, which is a good thing. Long story short, I do think I might still have a speaker portal. I'm still going to keep on using Sessionize. It still makes a lot of sense. But at any rate, we're going to have that. But I am going to keep it a lower priority because, again, I do need those something higher as sponsor portal. I do need a sponsor portal higher. But the front door site is really key. We need that. That's definitely what. Oh, and it reminds me, I meant to turn on focus mode. Sure enough, if anyone can find a way to turn on focus assist or quiet mode, called, with through a key press, that'd be awesome. I'd love to know how to do that. Looking that up, and I can't find that. All right, so I've got my epics, very high level epics, right? So these are the main things we're going to do. And really, it should be initial or something, you know, I don't want to call it MVP, but titles are maybe a little bit misleading, but that's okay. So let's go ahead. Now I want to create my features. I'm going to do this underneath. Create my pluses. And the first feature we're going to have is homepage. Okay. You know, pretty simple. The landing page for www.codepalooza.com. Palooza. Correctly. All right. So very simple, just like that. And so the idea here, you have your epics, your big things, your big major things you want to do. Then you have your features, right? Those things within there. So let's go with that. All right, so we have that feature, and then we're going to create our user story. So, so what are we, you know, basically what we talked about here. So we're going to have, really, this is the hero image, or hero, call it hero, and in here in the description needs to include the countdown to the event and a register button. Okay, so those are things we definitely want to include. You know, at least in this first version. Maybe in the future we could include some other, maybe some videos of previous events, such. But sure enough, we at least want that, right? We want the countdown. So that'll be a user story. Create another user story. This will be about conference section. Provides a short description of the conference about. So, and sure enough, I mean, this is kind of the boring part of things, but you know, these are things you really do need. You need to think things through before you just go and need a plan. And that's basically what we're. Okay, so the latest news displays the top, the last, let's say 3 triggerable. And really, there should be another user story. Real true. Keep it this way. The last 3 news articles. Okay, and create another item. Keynotes. Actually, I'm going to do this a little bit different. Well, I do want a keynote section. I know. I'll explain this more here in a moment. So keynote section and list the keynote speakers. Put that in parentheses. This year wrong. Still don't have that confirmed, but probably only going to have 1 keynote speaker. We'll want that in there. Then I also want speakers, right? And in here, what I want, I can't display all speakers. I have 130 some odd speakers, right? So that doesn't make sense. But what I do want is highlight random selection of speakers, maybe 10. So we'll have to see how the UI works out. We'll highlight a random selection of speakers, maybe 10, with each speaker should have a link. Pictures of each speaker should link to their speaker profile page. There should be a button to see the rest of the speakers. Okay. And sure enough, I mean, necessarily the best paragraph ever. Again, you know, if you're doing this for team, it should describe a little bit. All right. So other things we want on the home page. Okay, and we want pricing information. Price table showing the prices. Needs to get prices from database because we'll have early bird. Well, yeah, we'll have early bird, and we'll actually probably put that in a cache, quicker to retrieve. Don't need to go out to even a Cosmos database. Pretty darn quick, but we put it into like a Redis cache or something similar to that. But at any rate, it's still a database. We'll have that. All right, so that pretty much defines what we want on the home page. You know, actually, what I also need here. Okay, no, that's fine. We're going to do it like that, and then we're going to have. Okay, we're going to create another feature. And previous years. I'm just going to call this previous years. Ability to see sessions from previous year. Probably a drop down from the menu links for each year. That's probably how I'm going to do it. And then that will go to like the session page. So probably when, you know, I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not going to put any user stories because I need to think a little bit more about that, how that's going to work. And really, that's not key to get Coppola's a 2020 going. And we already have a website for build a new. Meantime, I want to get this done for this year's. Point is, that's a lower priority the previous year. All right, so we want the attend section. Really, call it attend. I'm not sure if we can call it attend. That's really what this is. Oh. We'll play with that, but right now we'll kind of do a mix here, and then provides information needed for attendees. Right, so very simple like that. And here, it's interesting. This homepage, these are sections. Probably more like additional pages on the attendees section. We'll have pricing information. I'm not going to want to keep. I'm not going to worry so much about the. I just at least want this in here. So we're going to have price information. We're going to have FAQ. Event location. I am going to put in this note because we wrote this flag driven. It really maybe the whole thing should be. Not even think about that. You know, sure enough, did that like that. But this whole thing should be event driven. Menu should be. Let's put it in the discussion. Menu should be feature flag. Make it a requirement, but at least make it. All right. So keep on going down this list because I just want to get these in here. So 10 toolkit. This is going to have logos, banners, right? So things for people to show their, show that they're attending. Which, as again, selling tickets, that's a great thing. All right, so I've got those sections. Those. See. All right, our next feature is going to be the sponsor section. Okay, and in here, And we're going to have a list of sponsors. Pretty important to list. We're going to have the sponsorship. So basically, list of sponsorship possibilities. Link to start sponsorship. All right, so that's that feature. The next feature is going to be the news. List all of the news for the current event. Here we're in. And in there, this is just going to, so the user story is just a list of news events, news, articles, items, and we'll have a news item article. So listing page and then clicking. Hey, we have a new follower, Basker. Basker, how's it going? Good to see you. It's been a long time. I haven't seen Basker in a while. That's a sad part about not going to not being able to go to events. Missed a lot of people who we love seeing. Basker's one of those great people out in Columbus. A lot of JavaScript goodness. Definitely, check it. For those, well, you don't have to be in Columbus. Basker, I think you're doing. I don't know if you're doing your JavaScript user groups virtual now, but I know they were really great before. So definitely tell people interested in JavaScript, check those out. All right, so I got my news. So now we're gonna have our resource feature. So resources, and so links to important resources. Great, yeah. So those are, they were virtual even before the pandemic. That's awesome. Yeah, it brings up a really good point. We're trying to decide when we're going to go back to having in person. It's going to be a while. I mean, here in Kentucky, we're still a little bit till we can have an in-person meetup. I'm not even sure by August rate is going. I think when we go back to an in-person, we're gonna we'll do a hybrid maybe. I got to work out some details for that. The Wi-Fi where we meet for like Louisville.net is not very good. Like it basically doesn't exist. And we've been using hotspots, but even it can't even get a good cell signal. I don't know. I might be looking for a new place to host physical events once we get back. All right, so going back here, we're in the resources. So resource pages. So dynamic pages showing resources such as code of conduct. Super important, actually. Almost one. Oh, that's so important. Tell you, any event you're running, you've got to have a code of conduct, and you have to enforce it. I mean, that's the even bigger part. I am sort of proud to say I have enforced. I've had to enforce the code of conduct, and why I say sort of is it sucks that someone acted like a jerk and had to do it. But I'm so glad I had something in place because definitely didn't want that person around our event. All right, so code of conduct, diversity, etc. Right? Have that. So we've got these. Okay, and then on the front, another. Here, okay. I have all these. Another feature. Okay, yeah, this is a feature. The menu seems like a weird feature, but we're gonna have one of the user stories says that the menu is feature flag driven. Actually, make this a little bit more new feature flag driven. And again, part of the example here is for example, the call for speakers, right? I mean, call for speakers only live for a period of time. You don't want that continuing on. Maybe we'll want something else, another item that'll drive that. So, definitely want that in there. All right. Oh, in the attendee information. Oh, see, there is more stuff. But we were talking about attendee section. We definitely do want this. Here's what I'm gonna do. Change this to be all users, right? In the information, but then we're gonna have attendee information authenticate. So basically, people who pay. And I'm going to resort this. I'm just kind of getting these in here for now. And in here, view recorded sessions, that ability. What in here is find related session. I'll put that somewhere. Okay, so we have these sections. All right. Oh, and what we didn't write in our notes was because we were having trouble getting into it. Let's go ahead and add feature, and this will be sessions. Displays the sessions and the speakers. And in here, so some of the user stories, we're going to have schedule by date. Schedule topics. And again, as I mentioned, we call our tracks topics. Don't have any plans of changing that. Schedule by speaker. Schedule. Excuse me. And then I want a user story find related sessions. All right, so overall, that's what we want. I'm not gonna worry about filling out features for sponsor portal and speaker portal, because at the moment I'm not gonna work on them. Right, so we're gonna work on those later. Even here, I mean, this is not really. I mean, I've got the epics in the order, but I'm not gonna finish all the features before like I start sponsor. I do want to figure this out. Okay, so I want to sort this a little bit. It is really nice. I can just drag these along and get them sorted in our priority order. Again, think about how Scrum should work, right? You have your backlog, really not just Scrum, but Agile with backlog. You have your backlog. It should be in priority order. So in here, got that here. Previous year is really going to be a lower priority. All honest. And then really sessions is going to be higher priority. Others are actually really debate as to which comes first. News is come higher than that. Actually, news really needs to be higher than sessions. Resources going there. I think that's the order of importance. So someone I'm looking at I'm looking at the possibility of even maybe getting this deployed even midway. I'm not going to necessarily finish everything. A little bit tricky. I got to think of it because in going here, I do have a completed site. It does work. It's a little bit hard to manage because I don't have an admin utility. I just go into the guys and write. But that's one. Oh, that reminds me. Another epic we're going to have. And I'm going to add admin port. Really, this is definitely hiring those two. Really be worked on at the same time. But in the admin portal, I'm not. not going to. I love how Pop-Up's coming up. I'm in focus mode, but Pop-Up's still coming up. So that's apparently not working. Um, but I need to think more about what we're going to have in the admin portal. There's going to be some obvious things. Obviously, managing sessions, managing users. Well, maybe we can start putting that. Manage sessions. Speakers. These are really high level because I'm just taking this through. Manage sponsor. I think I already. Maybe I didn't put. I can't remember. No, okay. So I got manage speakers, manage sponsors. We'll have manage. And then also going to want a. Again, I mean, these are extremely high level, but well, I don't know what the order, but going to kind of be worked on. All right, so I think this really does this for what we need to get started. All right. You know, in your requirements, you notice yesterday we were talking about what technologies we want to use in here. Your requirements should not have technologies listed. It should be agnostic of technology. I've been at places where they would put technology in there, and I would always get upset. I'm like, you might, you know, you're talking about this now. 6 months from now, when we actually build this, we might go with a different technology. So definitely try to keep this technology agnostic. You might have things that are, you know, well, this is for iOS, Android, because maybe you're going to do something different in there. Other than that, you know, you really do want to keep it. And that does bring up a good point. I'm not planning on a mobile for this yet. Within this, I mean, we'll continue using things like, I mean, we've been using I'm drawing a blank name, and it's a decent app. Actually, Sessionize has a new app, and I might look at using that too. I don't know. Again, that's where it gets a little bit confusing because I got to figure out how I'm going to manage speakers. So other epic I might add in here. I don't know if this really belongs in epics. And here's where the problem comes up with the developer writing requirements. I'm gonna for now I'm gonna make it an epic, but we're gonna have our utilities. We're gonna need a couple of utilities. I also need to spell that correctly. And I think so we're gonna need this go above the admin portal. And so some of the things we're gonna need in utilities, and actually the admin portal will use some of this. So import sessionize information. So this is what I did last year. I actually I managed a schedule. Here's a good thing, maybe the thing for later. But I managed a schedule on Sessionize. I actually had that as my master schedule. And then I can dump it in. I could dump it a couple different ways. But I did the simple way of just dumping into a spreadsheet, actually CSV file, and then I would read that CSV file in. Again, haven't really decided how we'll do that. Maybe we'll do that. We'll have that. We'll have import attendee list. Because I will tell you, at this point, you know, with this rev of the Coppola website, I'm still not going to have. I'm still going to do the registration somewhere. And it really boils down to do I really want to deal with PCI requirements? There's a lot. There's some really good things that allow me to do that, but what I'd rather have is someone else who's got that, at least for now. All right, so we have those. I know we need at least those. Go back to the admin portal. Manage news. Sure enough, in here, I do know, you know, we would have a great news article. We have article, right? I know we'll have that. And really, that boils down to again, like I was just saying, right now today, I go SQL. They're way definitely with. I think that gives us a good start. Still not actually ready to write code. Need to do a couple other things here. So what I do want to do, let me go into Visual Studio. I do need to update to the latest. I'm not going to do that on streaming. Let's not do that. Actually, what did they change? Hold up. I gotta admit, right before the stream started, I saw that little balloon telling me I had a notification. I had to look. What are the cool things they added in Preview 5? Sure enough, I do use the preview version. Okay, that's interesting. You know, that fixed intermittent VS crash, closing WinForm. Okay, I'm not doing WinForm. Intermittent VS crash when closing. Okay. Moved independency on build framework. Self build. Interesting. Added additional. All right. So nothing honestly pressing for me to get this uploaded. I should look at what's. But yeah, definitely want to update that, but not. It's almost like doing it during demo. I know. I actually do know a speaker who during a workshop did update his vision. And nothing bad. I'll close my notifications. All right. So first thing I want to do, I open this up. I want to get the old project, the code that currently running Visual Studio, because I don't have this on this machine. So I do need to get this. So here's a good lesson. If you're joining a place that's using TFVC, it's not a bad thing, but you know, definitely should get updated. But you know, so sure enough, my Coppola site is in TFVC. So I need to, you know, I'm sorry, I should have done this a little slower. So I'm in the Team Explorer Visual Studio, and I'm going to manage connections, connect to a project. And I actually need to add a Devops server. Again, this machine is clean. So, and this is going to be dev.azure.com. Checkly. Adding that and list here. Oh, this is going slow. There we go. Right as I said, this is going. Still going slow. This is the fun part about setting up a new machine. The things you have, I mean, it takes a while to actually get that machine. All right, and then I want you renamed to the Coppola's archive, although that's all right. And I'm gonna connect to it. All right, so and here's really the problem with TFVC. Is this whole map and get, all right? So it's all based upon workspace. I'm actually not going to do it from here. I have found issues. I'll go ahead and go to the Source Control Explorer, and I'm going to map it here. Just find it to work better. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to map. I'm just going to map this on my machine. Everything D, repos. Make a new folder of Cadbury. We're going to make of Coppola. Oh, and then this will. Oh, exactly. So I'm going to move this over here. So you can think of, for all the get people, this is like doing a clone, just not a clone. The copy, that doesn't sync correctly all the time. Because it's all right, so it's just telling me newly mapped items will not be downloaded until you execute. Oh, it's asking me if I want to do that now. I want to get this, and this is going to take a moment because there's quite a few files in here. Again, I really should have done this. Just didn't get a chance. This is actually take. I don't need to sit here and wait for that. Let's go back over here. A little bit more setup. Go into Azure. Gotta authenticate here. All right, and then while we're waiting for that to create, let's go ahead and get our resource group created. I'll go to resource. I'm actually trying to get a little bit more structure. Didn't really been naming things or anything, so we're gonna create a new one. It's actually gonna be under my sponsorship. So I have. So, and then we're going to have RG, and then we're going to Coppola. And I'm going to put this in EC2. Really doesn't matter where you put the resource group, but that's going to be my primary location. That does seem to serve this part of the country really well. It's funny, a couple of years ago, I actually did some ping tests, and I found that to be the best in this area all the way down to Georgia, because that's where my users were. Where bulk of my users were. We had another set of users in Texas, and we did do a dual site. But at any rate, I'm gonna create this there. I mean, that was really exciting. We created that. So the other things I want to go ahead and create. So again, just trying to get a little bit ahead of the game while I'm waiting for all that source code to download. Let's go ahead and create our Cosmos. So I do know Cosmos is gonna be where I'm gonna keep my stuff. And here's the thing, Cosmos does have a great feature. Actually done creating those. Okay, but let's go ahead and do this. I actually can create a free 5 GB Cosmos database, as long as it stays under 400 RU. Try to decide when we use it for. Probably not, because because it will spike. As we get closer to the event, it's going to spike, and actually that's okay. But I actually have something else in mind for later use. So okay. That's just me talking to myself. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'll create my resource group. I didn't really need to create this. We're gonna go in here and we're gonna create a new Cosmos DB. I'm gonna do it again in that. Create this in Coppola. And for the account name, we're gonna go for Coppola. You don't actually have to have different accounts for different Cosmos databases, but I do want to keep this. Okay, in here, I'm going to create a gremlin, a graph database. So I don't really need gremlin for everything, and actually, that's okay. But my base is going to be gremlin. One of the cool parts is I can actually use the SQL API to get to a gremlin. I can't go the other way around, but you can do that. All right. I'm not going to turn in notebooks because I'm not at least using them right now. It doesn't really hurt anything. Anyway, I'm not going to use them right now. All right, we're going to create this in EastUS2. You have a choice of here, and it doesn't impact UI experience. Well, we'll keep it non-production. Don't remember what difference that makes, but we'll leave it. I see one thing it does. Why can't I create? Why can't I keep? Why is that just interesting? I can enable multi-rights, not allowing me to enable geo redundant. Oh, all right. Well, I'll go with it right now. I thought it was that. All right. All right. We'll keep it the non-production. I'm not going to do multi-region rights. I have no need to do multi-region rights. I definitely don't want to pay the price. So when you go to multi-region right, the way how it works, so okay, pricing in Cosmos is kind of simple. I mean, kind of simple, but kind of hard. You have these RUs, right? So you're buying a guaranteed threshold, and then basically every region you do, it's number of RUs times number of regions. So if I 400 RUs times 2, right? Effectively buying, because it is a set price. Effectively buying 800 RUs to go over 2 different RUs. If you go to multi-region right, it's +1. So it's 2 + 1. For this app, there is no need to have multi. And my comment about availability zones is, why wouldn't you turn it on? It doesn't cost anything extra. So I almost always turn it. So we don't really need any network tags or settings. Tags, I'm not going to set these right now, but these are good set in a work situation. You can actually do some interesting based upon. I'm not going to create them right now. All right, I'm going to go ahead and let that create, because that actually just takes a couple minutes, 5 minutes. Great. We'll let that happen. All right. So sure enough, I do have my source code downloaded now. I think I did that also. That should have been just open the folder. Wow, that was interesting. It took a folder. All right. So sure enough, I'm going to go ahead and launch this. Because actually make sure it compiles on my machine. Because I will reference some of this. I mean, it means, yeah, I want to rebuild this, but it's not like it's horrible. It's just he's more anything else for tech. And even here, okay, so you can see there's a website, there's a speaker portal, there's a new speaker portal, there's a management portal. I have my extension library, extensions, things easier. I have my entities library, and I have my database project. And then you can see I even have my utilities, so see some of this. Let's add a database script generator, because that's how I was generating scripts. Email template uploader. I used to do all my emails through SendGrid. I have switched and pay for makes things. You can see I had import attendees, although that's importing from a different place, I think. Getting from work to ours. Even so, pull schedule. So this is what I was doing last year. Pull those. Yeah, I have my unit tests. And I have my. All right. So anyway, we've opened this up, the whole solution. What I do want to look at. Oh, I wanted to see if this build. Let me see. This should be interesting. I mean, in theory, this should just build just fine. But you never know. All right. Team build, 0 failed. That's awesome. Now we have that going. Let's see. Cosmos is still deploying. Well, that's fine because we're not really going to be doing anything with that yet. All right. Do a quick time check. It's 12:25. So I've got about 20 minutes left. I need to cut off a little bit early today. Have a so 1 o'clock we're gonna have a developer summit. Actually gathering all the developers. So here's the thing. Actually, monthly we do a sprint kickoff, which would have been last week. But we do a sprint kickoff. We do monthly sprint, and it's really a final. Do we have all the requirements we need? What are some other discussions we need? Yeah, we're 100% remote in with, so pandemic didn't really change that for us. But we got together once a month because actually we're a remote company, but everyone in tech is all in this area. One guy's down 2 hours away. Other than that, everyone's right in. I think one person's 2 hours away, one person is like 45 minutes away, city, and I'm like the next farthest because I'm in the southern part of the city. I'm the next farthest away from where everyone else. The point is, we normally have a meeting. The work we're doing in May is actually kind of just running in from what we were working on in April, and we are doing at least we're releasing next week, but we were already starting some things. Long story short, we didn't need but definitely have some topics I need to talk with. We're going to have that, get some good discussions on things like, let me look at my schedule. Was I let Outlook crash, or not crash, but Outlook's just going slow. Here we go. So, we're going to talk about, we need to start making some plans for our .NET. We're on 2.1. Really, we'd like to get up to 3.1. We're probably going to skip 5. Probably as in we're skipping 5. But so we have that. So we're going to talk about that. We need to talk about force upgrades. So we're doing PWAs and we're doing mobile apps. Having some issues with outdated APIs. So we're going to talk about that. Talk about are we going to stay in DevOps? We're going to look at GitHub branching strategies. We need to relook how we're branching. These kind of discussions we're going to have. So really good afternoon. Some other discussions we're going to have. Kind of improve how our process. Anyway, point being, I need to kick off about 4:02. More than anything else, I'm not going anywhere. I'm sitting here at my desk, but maybe to stretch my leg before I go on a 4-hour meeting that I'm leaving. I did build and break, so I think I'm fortunate. All right, so anyway, I've got this. That's great. Now what I want to do, I'm going to go ahead and let's go back to our browser and make sure. So we got our fixing stuff in there. So do I have my repo set up? Oh, we talked about, okay, we're going to do this. We're going to do a test in GitHub. Log in. That's a sign in. Log into that one. On. Type that from. Okay, so in here, so we have our repository. Need to do. So I need to connect this. Actually don't know how to do this. So connect GitHub. So repo to Azure DevOps. Connect an actor board. Really want to. I just start connecting or linking GitHub. Okay, I guess this is okay. Yeah, I looked at this yesterday. So I need to go in here. Got to project settings. Here, settings. Count. Sure. Just making sure that I'm authorizing to the correct one. And here we go. So I'm sure that will step there. Authenticate repositories. Do the GIF. Here it's me to approve, install, and authorize. Install. Part's done. Do it now. Done. You should see the new connection like a repository. All right, so I see that. Now I want to see, does that all I need to do? So if I create a pipeline, okay, I guess here, okay, have to authorize. Cool. We're not, I mean, we're not ready. We don't have anything to build yet, but go ahead and get that built. Just want to pass this. For all. Oh. Do I have? Let's I am logged in. Thing. Oh, I had. Back over to regular account. Unfun. Now under my regular account. We didn't authenticate a moment ago. Now it just goes in there automatic. All right. So I want to go to organizational settings. tail. I'm going to give that user rights in here. Logged in here. It really doesn't matter which account. Later on. All right. Let's try this again. Pipeline. Create a pipeline. Okay. Now all of a sudden it didn't do anything. What I didn't do differently. All right. That's cool. All right. So one last thing. All right. We've got that all connected. I do need to disconnect. I need to eat something before I afternoon. One last thing I do want to do. One of the cool things you can do in Azure DevOps. So, like for example, I'm not going to use the repos in here. I'm going to use GitHub. I can hide that. And now we're not going to do test plans. I might add that later. Good part, all it's doing is hiding it, right? It's not like it's taking it away. Just hiding it. So now I've done that. Be able to go close it, and there we go. So now I don't even see the repo, right? Because there's no reason to see that. So, all right, well, sure enough, like I said, I do need to wrap up. I need to finish up for the day. But definitely, I want to thank everyone for joining me today. Been another exciting day, a little bit shorter today, but tomorrow actually, tomorrow, anything right now? No, tomorrow tomorrow I do have something right now. But point being, some days will be a little bit longer, a little bit. Some days a little shorter, like today. Like I say, that's why I'm still trying to figure out what time of the day to do this. I'm giving this week a try. See how well this works. Maybe at the end of the week I'll figure out if I'm gonna switch. All right, let's look at where we could raid. Let's see here. We look for place. Where can we raid? Twitch. Who is live right now? Well, it's quite a few people. Oh, well, we got probably the master of Twitch. There are a couple good ones going on. So Craig Rush is on there. So Mark Miller is doing some stuff right now. That's always really interesting what he's working on. Code It Live. So the guys over at Progressive, or I shouldn't say guys, the folks over at Progressive, they're doing some stuff over there, doing an all-day coding event. But let's go to the master. Let's go to C# Fritz. What is he working on? I know he's doing his Mac.
A fun project along the way as well.
Mean to call him turn on. Yeah, he's building a Blazor menu bar. Probably should watch that myself. It's kind of something I need. All right, let's go ahead. So let me that in here. So raid C# Fritz. Go ahead and raid that. And again, thank you for joining today. I hope those who raid over with C# Fritz will enjoy that. Looks like I don't have many followers left, but go ahead and follow that along. So with that, and have a wonderful day, everybody. If I can get it to... I think you're still on here. No. Anyway. / Try this again. Raid. Sharp. Five more seconds and then we'll be raiding over there.